Welcome back, blade fans. This old sword with you. We're going to give some love today to Damascus steel. And what you have here is pretty much my current collection of any blades with Damascus. Damascus is a layered steel, as you probably know. And I went to Wikipedia, and without making this a video-long explanation, very quickly, the origin of the name Damascus steel is contentious. The Islamic writers were both scholars who wrote about swords, and I'm not going to mention their names because I can't pronounce them, and steel made for swords based on their surface appearance, geographical location of production or forging, and the name of the smith. Each mentions Damascene or Damascus swords to some extent. The word Damas is the root for watered in Arabic, and the Damascus blades are often described as exhibiting a water pattern on their surface, and are often referred to as watered steel in multiple languages. And the common explanation is that the steel is named after Damascus, the capital city of Syria, one of the largest cities in the ancient Levant. So you go to Wikipedia and you can get a pretty good background on it. Layman's terms, it's a layered steel. These are all layered stainless steels, and each manufacturer uses its own steel, not proprietary necessarily, but they're a billet Damascus, so these are not forged Damascus. Traditionally, Damascus is forged and is high carbon and is steel that you're going to want to take good care of because, yes, it's going to rust easily. Not so much with these. And when and where I remember, I'll see if I can mention the steel. However, the manufacturers seem to like to keep that a secret. However, one notable exception is the Savivi Elementum here, and this is a blackened or dark acid washed Damascus, and then is hand rubbed, according to what I read on the Savivi website. This came out recently. I have reviewed all of these knives, so you want to see a little bit more of them, check them out on my videos on this channel. I have a multicolored carbon fiber, kind of a marbled carbon fiber on this Elementum. This is 9CR18, I believe, is what they're claiming this layered steel is. And this is the famous lock that you must use the button because it locks open and locks closed. But we're going to take a look at these really for the beauty of the pattern and the way that they chose the pattern and the handle to sort of fit together in many cases. So the button lock Savivi Elementum, that's the first one up. One that I reviewed very recently, the Kratos from Concept, an Ostup Hell design, and this has one of the more amazing patterns of all of these. And the rose, black rose carbon fiber with titanium handle. Just a really interesting, consistent pattern there. And the double grind that you can see if we get the reflection just right. Getting the polished Damascus to look correct under the light is challenging, especially when we've got multiple blades with different grind angles on them. Drop shutty on that one. Designed by Ray Laconico. This is the Artisan Centauri front flipper. A very smooth operator. Beautiful carbon fiber on this one. Front flipper, probably the easiest front flipper out there. This is now coming out in a mini version and in multiple handle types, including micarta, and lower prices. This is about a $200 knife when it came out, and I think they've got these down to under $100 for some of them in different handles and steels. This obviously is going to be a little more because it's Damascus. And Artisan has claimed their Damascus to be S35VN Damascus. I've read that at least once. But look at that pattern. Gorgeous. And there's names sometimes for these patterns, particularly when they're done by a bladesmith and they're forged. But whatever you might call this pattern, it's really amazing. Very thin handle on this one, carbon fiber and titanium. Let's look at the little guy. This is the Strellet by Bestek, and another Ostapel design, part of his Bloom or Blossom series, I believe. And this is a cool little push dagger that's a claw that folds up, very small, minuscule. Actually has a little bit of a wave opener built in there too, if you want to go that route. Titanium handle, bronzed in this case. Again, look at the patterns. This wasn't possible that many years ago because the billet Damascus really that was out there didn't have these amazingly complex patterns. Here's one that is under 100 and is a Damascus. This is the Shieldon Tranchodon. A real nice effort for under $100. Interesting Tonto, sort of reverse Tonto, if you want to call it that, Warncliffe design. I've heard some people complain that the etching on this was kind of uneven. It does fade a little bit here and there, but you know, 90-something bucks with carbon fiber. Actually, it's kind of a I think it's a layered carbon fiber and G10, although I'm not 100% sure. Beautifully made knife. Nice and smooth, on bearings. And again, a very nice pattern. But you can see where it does fade a little bit here and there. If you wanted a perfect Damascus blade, you probably would go upscale from here a little bit to some of the others. Finally, a Dirk Pinkerton design by Artisan. The Tacit, really cool, lightweight, slim, almost nothing to it, kind of a Tonto. Artisan's logo there, and also very, very nice Damascus pattern. So a lot of people aren't into Damascus. I get that. They're showpieces for me. I doubt whether I'd carry a Damascus knife. One exception might be the Elementum, just because looks like it might hold up a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, these all have sharp edges, and the whole idea of Damascus many years ago was it was a strong steel, but one of the features of it was that where the layers meet and it was sharpened, it would almost form a kind of a miniature sawtooth. So you'd get a very sharp edge, and as it wore, the layers would break away and expose other layers, and you would get that miniature sawtooth effect. So in effect, you would have a blade that stayed sharp longer. was also flexible, strong, and if it got beat against another weapon, particularly swords, it would hold up without breaking. And then the other route is to go the sanmai route, or the sandwich steel, which you see on a lot of the Japanese swords and tontos and other implements. Well, this is my little foray into the world of Damascus. Figured I was collecting a few more, particularly with that last one, the Kratos, and I was very impressed by that, so I figured, well, let's get all the Damascus stuff out and take a look at it. So I do hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back with more interesting content. Be well. Take care.